This is Movie Reviews by Dr. B and
Mrs. B.
I'm an anthropologist and she's
I'm an independent artist scholar.
That's right, this is season two. And we are also a married couple of 33 years and how many children? 3 adult children and what else?
Well, we're academia, education, and edutainment.
Edutainment. There you go, edutainment. That's right, we are officially back. Oh, we want to thank all our viewers and of last year of season number 1. We want to thank our viewers and listeners of season number 1. Bravo! Thank you for tuning in to our YouTube channel. And now we're going to continue to bring in a brand new season. This is season 2, episode number 1.
We made it.
Yeah, we are starting off season number 2 with, yes, right, and a couple of surprises. And I'm going to give a surprise right now. Yes, there's one surprise and many surprises to come. And we're going to review Jurassic World Dominion.
Dinosaurs.
And Bridgerton season 2 from Netflix. Yes, we felt like we need to make our statements about this blockbuster movie that just came out a few weeks ago. What was it? Jurassic World Dominion, and also Netflix Bridgerton season 2. And before we get to that, Mrs. B, that's right. How do you feel starting off season number 2?
You know, through all the things we went through all the things that happened, and from last year, we thank our viewers for all the views that we received on YouTube, including radio podcasts. Thank you very much. COVID, we're into the strains of COVID pandemic, and that has calmed down. I'm thankful and I'm blessed, and thank you, Eric, and all of us for making it. Dr. B. And we have our shots. We're fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated. And that's the excitement. Of last year, we went through a lot. Everybody went through a lot. Yeah. But we provide this. Let me just say, add on to Mrs. B. We're providing this movie reviews by Dr. B and Mrs. B. Really for entertainment, really for fun, and to de-stress everything in our lives, in your lives. So just sit back and enjoy our movie reviews by Dr. B and Mrs. B. Entertainment.
There you go. So we're going to start off, like I said, we're starting off with Jurassic World Dominion. And usually I give a little backdrop, a storyline, the official, let me just say this, the official storyline from the movie industry, from the industry, and they send this out. And I want to give you the script, and then Mrs. B gonna jam. She's gonna jam and give you her breakdown of the movie.
My fine arts critique.
Her fine arts critique of the movie. So let me give you a little bit of the storyline of World Dominion, World Classic Dominion. Oh my gosh, Jurassic. Here we go. After surviving the destruction of Isla Nublar, and dealing with the conspiracy at the Lockwood Estate, Owen Grady and Claire Deering took Lockwood's granddaughter, Maze, with them upon learning she's actually the clone of Lockwood's daughter. Now, let me just say, the original actors came back. My boy, that's right, Jeff Goldblum. My boy, that's right, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and there was also the other lead actors. I'll get to them in just a second. But again, they brought back the original cast. That's a little key there. Let me get back to the script. They've been living under the radar to protect Macy's, but she feels like a prisoner one day. Blue, the Rapture, that's right, the Rapture, Grady trained as Isla Nuba, and bonded with shows and reveals that she bore an offspring, which is impossible. Men are watching them, and they are told to get Macy's Blues child, which they do. Owen and Claire set out to find them. They asked some friends to help them, and they eventually learned that it was Louis Dodgkin, owner of Bio something, ordered their abduction at the same time the country's crops are being attacked by some unusual locust. We'll get to that too. Ellie Sattler investigates and suspects the locusts were created by Dodgson, who wants the world to rely on his crops that the locusts have not touched. So she asks Alan Grant, that's right, Sam Neill, her former partners, help her. She was contacted by Ian Malcolm, my boy Jeff Goldblum, who works for Dodgson scheme, but in the process, they meet Macy, who bonded with Blues Child, and whom she, Beta, they tried to escape, but Dodgson tries to stop them. Man, that's the storyline. And let me just say, I was confused. Oh my gosh, I was confused. Oh my gosh. And let me just say, Mrs. B and I saw this in the movie theater. And what was the experience like in the movie theater, Mrs. B?
Well, it was interesting. We went in, we still have to protect ourselves because there's still strains going up with COVID.
Yeah, Mrs. B wiped down the entire seats. Miss, what did you do?
To use hand sanitizer.
There you go.
And I wiped down the seats again, and I will continue to do so.
There you go.
And we went in and we found our seats, and now everything is more ticketed, and because you can go online and
our seats were reserved. We're right up front.
Go right into the AMC theater,
AMC,
and in our local area, local neighborhood. Here in North Carolina, and we went on inside, and we got our seats. Get your popcorn, get it fresh.
Get my popcorn
fresh. And then we sat down, and then we began to relax and get comfortable.
And everyone came in with their. Everyone came in comfortable. They were bringing in their big lounging outfits, their blankets. They were spread out everywhere, and the kids were running everywhere during the movie.
Comfy, slippers.
There you go.
They began to have the behavior that they used to have during the restrictions of COVID.
People were ready.
And began to get out.
People were ready.
And get to the places and ready to go out, getting fully vaccinated, hopefully.
People were ready.
They were ready. They get into the movie theater, and they began to bring out the same behaviors or how they live in the comfortable environment of the neighborhood at home, and watching movies at home, streaming movies and distribution movies, and then they go to the theater and they do the same thing. And so it was interesting to watch the transition of people sitting in the movie theater with their blankets, slippers, shoes, leaning back as if they were at home.
At home, and they were relaxed, and it was really a comfortable.
So to see that happen, it was almost seamless, and it's like, whoa, they weren't, overly comfortable, but you could see, and there were families and kids running around. They had to
running around having a great time. And so there you go. And after everything kind of settled down and things were into the plot, that's when I started to relax myself and say, okay, this is not. I'm kind of familiar with I'm trying to get adjusted to the plot line. But once the action started, that's when the excitement happened. So, Mrs. B, you're going to have a breakdown. Right, I know you took some notes. So, provide some your critique.
Some of my critique.
Some of your critique.
I really enjoyed the movie, but I'll get to it in a second. Whether any type of prop, I would say any type of prop issues or any type of problem with cinematography. So let me get started. All right. So let me read some of my notes. I'm gonna have to take off my glasses.
There you go.
How you doing? Well, thank you. All right, well, let me get right to it. First of all, I want to say movie reviews by Dr. B and Mrs. B is copyrighted.
Copyrighted from day one.
From day one. April the 6th, 2021, U.S. copyright. All rights reserved. Eric J. Bailey and Gloria J. Bailey. So, having said that,
go ahead.
I will continue to go ahead with my review.
But remember, we're Dr. B and Mrs. B.
And we are Dr. B and Mrs. B. But for the legal part of it, we do have to state that. So thank you. Let's get on to the movie review. All right, I like to say that We also are the directors, partners, administrators, and producers of our movie reviews. And let me go ahead and get straight on into it. All right, Jurassic World Dominion. Imagine a world of the extraordinary, where life in books comes true, except it's on the screen instead of in your house. These dinosaurs and archaeological creatures are supposed to stay on the imaginative movie screen, while audiences muse and with creative imagination. Very good movie series, I'd have to say. Jurassic Park World Dominion. The plot was methodical and reasonable to the series and did not disjoint the themes throughout the film series. So that was important. That's why people like having the actors that was in the Jurassic Park 1 and 2 come back. And then I'd like to say that also, so it didn't disjoint it, but in this movie, the scenes were crisp, clear, and precise in color, form, and motion. There is an innovative scene whereby one archaeologist actor, Mr. Sam Neill, the actor, is sitting and return of former archaeological researcher actress Miss Laura Dern, who was the actress in that, is speaking to Neill while the camera is spanning the scene in motion. And at the same time, each part of the scene is focused and clear while in three-dimensional background. Wow! And has depth but does not overshadow the front focal point of the actors. That is amazing. I thought that was very innovative. And then I'd like to say, I found this angle of the producer-director innovative with technical cinematography, command of the equipment to the fullest extent as artists, and at least I thought. And finally, the film industry gets it in terms of artistic realm of visuality. That everything in life moves and integrates in motion, whether we are standing still or not. Our emotions, fears, hopes, and dreams, and that is how life is on an everyday level. Well, then there is dinosaurs, of how the world is a part of our species, creatures and beings of our faiths and worlds. Of course, we're human. The acting is still at the level of realism and keeps the film firmly grounded, and the experience of actors in their prolific form of art is stellar. Hopefully, dinosaurs and T-Rex won't evade the constellations.
There you go.
So I'd like to say it was really great. I really enjoyed it. And I want to give you some resources and to wrap up my discussion of it and the movie review. That you can also look at dinosaurs and learn about the thousands and thousands of dinosaur different types of categories and species at the national, the national museums such as the Smithsonian, the Natural History Museum at the Smithsonian Magazine, dinosaurs, and many research topics, as well as the North Carolina Museum of History. Also, you can take a day trip and see the events, and then as well as the exhibits, the special exhibits. You can shop Scholastic, and you can see the parent resources. There's a book called 1001 Species of Dinosaurs. You can also shop the parent category. You have to make sure
that's
the parent
okay.
category, the resources there. And then as well, you want to take a stroll to the beach and look at some of the resources at the beach where they have dinosaur exhibits, such as Myrtle Beach, as well as the Battle of the Royale of Dinosaurs. And I would like to say there's also an exhibit going on in North Carolina that is also about dinosaurs, But also the exhibit highlights life before dinosaurs, the other species.
There you go. There you go. Thank you.
Ancient. There was even a life before dinosaurs.
Well, guess what? Thank you,
So
Mrs. B. That was fantastic. Now, and we I appreciate all of that. The fans appreciate all of that. But what was your take on the movie while you were sitting there and taking it all in? Do you give it a thumbs up or thumbs down after all of that?
After all of that, I just said I really enjoyed it. It would be a thumbs up.
It's a thumbs up? Okay. Now, let me just give you my point of view. I was a little lost at the beginning because, like I said, I was lost in the plot of the movie. And I said, how are they going to bring in the original actors from 1, 2, and 3? As a matter of fact, I have the videos from number 1, 2, and 3. And, oh my gosh. If it wasn't for, let me just say that, if it wasn't for my boy, Jeff Goldblum, making so many jokes. By the way, he was a major, a scholar, and he actually wrote a book in the movie, and he said, how the world will end. He was lecturing how the world will end. Yeah, and then when they were running, another part, when they were running from the dinosaurs, he said to Chris Pratt, what are you going to do with your little dinosaur? You going to put him on your back? He actually put Blue on his back and started running. And I thought it was hilarious. And many of the scenes, quite frankly, the entire cast did a great job. They added some new folks in the cast. They did an outstanding job. An African-American gentleman, another African-American woman in the cast. And I thought that was rich. And then they also really appreciated the original guys that were in the Jurassic Park by the end. And it all came together. So initially, I was kind of like on the edge. And then when they stepped it up, Mrs. B, with the action, and I was feeling the crowd in the movie theater, you can feel it was really a great movie. So I gave it a thumbs up, just like Mrs. B.
Well, that's good. Thank you, Dr. B.
Yes.
And the special effects really also made the movie.
The special effects were phenomenal. They're very realistic.
Very clear.
Very realistic. And that's the reason why
digital.
Yeah, that's the reason why this particular version, Jurassic World Dominion, was number 1 at the box office for 2, 3, maybe I think 3 weekends in a world. And even Jeff Goldblum in the movie made a pun on, he actually said to Chris Pratt, he said, in the movie, he said, I didn't like Jurassic World, by the way. And that was number 4. And he actually said that. And here's a little side note. Here's another side note. When little trivia about the movie. When Jeff Goldblum found out he was appearing in this movie with the original 2 stars, he actually said to the producer a line. He said in original, "You did it, you crazy son of a gun. You did it." And then he said a tweet to his co-workers. He said, "Happy as a clamorous to be reunited with my brilliant co-stars from the original Jurassic Park, Laura Dern and Sam Neill for the next installment." So again, they brought everyone together. You need to bring the established stars, the foundation of Jurassic Park, into this latest Jurassic World Dominion. That to me was the kicker. And even seeing Sam Neill at the very end, he finally said, with Laura Dern's help, said, you need to be proactive. You need to talk about how to work with these domesticated dinosaurs. Yeah, the domesticated dinosaurs, and go to Congress and legislate for them.
The dinosaurs found a way, as Jeff Goldblum said in the previous movie, the first film.
Life will find.
Oh my goodness.
By far.
And life will find a way. And the dinosaurs, because of adaptation things, they found a way. But they found a way about beginning to learn they're beginning to start to
They
learn the
adapted to humans on a regular basis, on a consistent basis, and yet humans were still trying to adapt to this domesticated new creature that was developed out of the laboratory.
You know, I wouldn't want them to be a pet.
So I don't think so too, but it really goes that far. Okay, so that was our review. In essence, we give it a thumbs up. One more time, a thumbs up for World. That's right, for Jurassic World Dominion. Number 6, by the way.
And Sam Neill characters, they went off and they came like, come on, she said, I'm going to go with you. And they went on off together.
Hey, they hooked up finally. They finally hooked up. That's what I was waiting for. I'm sorry. That's what I was waiting for. So let's move on to our next movie. Netflix, Bridgerton season 2. Season 2. And I'm just going to read again the storyline from the movie from Netflix and Bridgerton that they sent out. So I'm just going to summarize it very quickly. Season 2 turns away the torrid passions detailed in the original Bridgerton romance series by author Julia Quinn and flings itself into the arms of the slow burn-filled, well-trodden Jane Austen cinematic milieu. Now, this screenwriter for Bridgerton is Chris Van Dusen, an Emory University graduate, and the production for Netflix is Shonda Rhimes. Shonda Land, thank you, Shonda Land.
Thank you, Miss Rhimes.
And so for this season number 2, for the first half of the season of the 8 episodes which came out in March, the cast change signifies mainly good themes. Richer, more interesting character development, more time with our ensemble Bridgertons, and plenty of opportunity for our main couple, the eldest son, Anthony Bridgerton, played by Jonathan Bailey, and his fiery nemesis, Kate Sharman, played by Simone Ashley, to indulge in all the smoldering longing any romance fan could want. Wow. And let me just say, it was a slow burn, and I was really waiting. I'm just going to say, where's my boy from season number 1, Reggie Jean Page? He did not show up in season number 2 at all.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mrs. B. He did not show up. Sorry, Mrs. B. He did not show up.
Reggie Jean Page.
Yeah, I wanted my boy coming, Simon Bassett. He didn't show up, so it took me a while to readjust to the new romantic couple, which they did a great job, by the way.
They did.
Props to them. It was really the chemistry was there between them.
You know, the style and manner was excellent. So the acting was excellent. I thought it was good, and you know, I didn't like the part where the prince she was going to marry and planning to marry the Jonathan Bailey character, Anthony Bridgerton, but then her older sister adopted, ended up, you know, backstabbing her. She really
backstabbing her, falling in love with the main, you know, man Bridgerton, and then took away her chance to have a marriage of a prestigious marriage to the Bridgertons,
to the Bridgerton family, and you know, they couldn't contain themselves to romance.
Oh, it was steamy. It was, they just couldn't. They couldn't. He couldn't think. He couldn't think twice. He couldn't think straight whenever he saw her.
Well, you know, the attraction was the attraction, and it was what it is. But then her heart was broken. Oh, Edwina, and I felt so heartbroken for her.
I ain't gonna hurt you for that.
After a while, she had to grow up, and she realized that she had to move past that. And then the queen. Oh, we love the queen. Her hair and the fro with the reddish brown.
Very much so.
Beautiful fro.
Very much so.
She had couture going on, and then she had the 2 curls in front. And she says, you know, don't worry. I have a family member and he's a prince. And I was like,
Oh, that's
well.
true. That's true. And we also liked Lady Danbury.
But she was so honest.
Yeah.
And the character that she played, and Lady Danbury, and it's just
Love Lady Danbury. Lady Danbury was a scheming individual and behind the scenes trying to match them and trying to get things together in the right way. But her role really blossomed in season number 2, and I thought that was a good.
She got embarrassed.
I thought that was a good situation there.
It wasn't fair because she went ahead and hosted.
She hosted the family. She hosted Bridgerton.
Yes. And then her older sister.
Yes.
And then they get there, and then they find out that she
got backstage.
She wants to marry.
Yeah.
Does she not want to marry this guy? Then marry the Bridgerton, excuse me. And then she gets there, and then she realizes that she's embarrassed because she didn't realize that the older sister had been going behind her back and didn't tell the mother of
not good. Not good.
Arrangement.
Not good. But it went on and on. It was it just went on.
So that was really nice. And it went on a bit. Yeah. And so Lady Danbury, she did an excellent job. Well, thank you very much. She had a little bit of attitude.
And what did you think about?
She pulled it out.
What did you think? Why it was going on? It seemed like it was dragging in the middle. Episode 4
that part
and 5.
kind of.
What did you think about that?
That part kind of got us upset a little bit. Not upset. In a way of somebody making you upset or mad or something like that. But it's like, oh goodness, come on, what's going on here? It's kind of the scene between Mr. Bridgerton, the oldest, and then the romance between her, and they're going back and forth, and it seemed like they were torturing that dude. It got to the point where they're like, okay, you're gonna get with him, or you're not gonna get with him, or you're gonna be together, and so they pulled out that scene a little bit long.
I thought,
but other than that, with the beautiful clothing and everything, the haberdasher, the men's,
they have more money to spend, by the way, on this season 2.
Oh my goodness,
$7 million per episode.
The men's clothes were much more colorful. They upscaled the men's clothing, the suits, the ascots, everything about them, the hats, the more diverse than ever as well.
Very much diverse cast.
Really shined in this season.
That was great.
That was wonderful to see. I was like, oh well, look, here's the men looking good. Mm-hmm. Wow, wonderful. They did a really good job in the costume and also the time period of clothing. Wonderful.
And then in the final episode, they wrapped everything up real fast. They wrapped it up real fast. They finally got together, and by the final scene, they were playing. Guess what? Final scene, they were playing croquet. I thought that was funny. They wrapped up the scene. All of them were outside playing croquet, and they were lovey-dovey back and playing croquet.
They're playing croquet, and then everything kind of worked out.
Everything works out.
At the end,
world.
But by the end, the character of Adrena, who was supposed to have this marriage happen and betrothed, she was like, "Oh, okay, I'm good with that. I'm going on to something else."
Yes,
and even better. And I thought, wow.
That's when you bring up a very good point. Her attitude changed around. Her approach, she became, I'm going to step my own way and not be dependent upon.
She had to grow up real
not
fast.
Be dependent upon Anthony Bridgerton. And so she said, I'm going to pay my own way.
Well, I did like the growth of that.
Yeah.
Because that character was really well-rounded. That was written really well-rounded about life's ups and downs.
Ups and downs.
The real-life treatment that you would do with the actors. Of course, you get consent for real-life treatments, of course. But what you would do with the actors and how their character is played and how that person feels in between all that was going on, what she didn't know what was happening around her.
She had no idea. Then it became all
later
clear.
On, it became real clear. And then she had to grow into her womanhood.
Yes, she did.
Even her mother had to learn some things from her daughters.
She did.
And then what they were also bounded by or bound by arrangements and dowries.
The arranged
and
marriages.
And what they could do and couldn't do. And the mother going through the angst herself of having a married a man that wasn't of wealth as their
That's true.
parents wanted her to marry. It could have been a better wealth choice, and she had to live with that, and they almost cut her off from that. And then said, that's about enough. And then the mother began to become stronger.
Yes.
As well as the daughter became stronger.
There you go.
And then, and the man, the heart wants what he wants, and they got together. And then you find that growth begins to make her, instead of being coddled, to show that she's loved, but also still protected in her environment and feeling strong as a woman, as every right she has to be. So that was really well written for her.
Very much. Well, thank you, Mrs. B. So you gave it a what? What did you give? What was it?
Well,
what's your
we're
rating?
going to watch Bridgerton again, and I want you to come back. But from my point of view, as movie reviews by Mrs. B to Dr. B, my
just give your point of view. It's okay. Thumbs up, and I give a thumbs down. It's that simple.
See, I don't understand why Dr. B does.
She gives a thumbs up because we have two compelling different points of view. We don't always agree. That's
what
okay.
What was the one main point that you, or 2 points?
I already said the main point was that it dragged. It dragged.
Okay,
it dragged.
It went on and on.
And we were waiting, and quite frankly, it dragged, and didn't have my boy in it. By the way, Reggie Jean Page. And by the way,
just because he's not in there.
Well, he was G. He was G. But we learned that. Guess what? Season number 3, he's coming back. That's right. The producer said, Shondaland said, "Come on back. I'm going to write you in." So he's going to be there for season number 3. So that tells you a lot. And the ratings were not that great on season number 2. Hello.
Okay, well, I don't know what all the ratings.
Yeah, the ratings were not that great.
Because movies and distribution
when we watched the episodes, we were both saying, "Come on, pick up the story." So that's the reason why Dr. B gives.
And I still gave it.
There you go. Let's go. There you go.
Artists make money the way they can.
There you go.
Over time.
There you go.
And whether you're publication, edutainment, whatever you do, and that money begins to go over time, period of time, and royalties or what have you. And so I kind of look at it like that point of view.
I'm glad you do.
But you also have to be honest about what you see.
I'm being honest.
Because otherwise it wouldn't be a movie review. Right.
And we wouldn't have our show if we didn't have compelling points of view. Because otherwise,
first season we had our artistic differences.
No, and guess what?
We worked it out. But that's exactly what you're supposed to do.
And this is what you're going to get in season. This is what you're going to get in season number 2 as well. Surprises along the way.
Yes.
And ups and downs, fluids in this. But I guess that's the excitement of season number 2. We got new surprises coming. And matter of fact, yes, those were our 2 main reviews. I'm going to throw in right now, guess what? At the box office, Buzz Lightyear. Yes, when Mrs. B and I were at the movie theater, we saw the trailer for Buzz Lightyear. Oh, yeah. And let me just say, I didn't like it. Okay, I was waiting for, it was great stories. I don't know if it's story. What they showed in the trailer, I was waiting to hear some of the original voices, like Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear or something like that, as well as Tom Hanks from Toy Story. And I didn't hear those actors. Not that they had to, but that to me kind of pushed me back from supporting Buzz Lightyear. And I'll just say, no, they started off wrong. They're trying to make it such a new cast, brand new. And I don't have nothing wrong with Chris Evans and the other actors. It's just that I wanted some tie-in to the original Toy Story. And so it wasn't there. So I gave it a thumbs down already. I'm waiting till it comes out streams.
Well, I'm not going to really give it a rating because I'm going to give it a chance. I'm just going to say that the reason why they didn't really connect with the audience, and I really love Pixar,
it's bombing right now in the movie theater.
In terms of lifelong,
they thought it was going to get.
In terms of lifelong learning, Pixar and Buzz Lightyear they didn't have that intergenerational pull that you would have with audience.
Say that again.
So
intergenerational pull.
Older to the youngest.
Thank you.
Then you didn't. And then when they, and the reason why Jurassic Park really did well at the box office and successful because they acknowledged the
intergenerational,
the other characters of the film. Now they could have asked them to do a voiceover or request them to do a voice or added a cameo, but they didn't. And I guess they wanted to start off fresh and new. But at the same time, you lose that audience, and that's what the audience was looking for.
Right,
that's what the audience expectation was. And so I still like that. I thought that was pretty nice. But, it is what it is, and they can edit it and then, move on from there. And when it comes out for release on streaming, whenever that date is, you can bring back in those cameos. And that's what the nice thing about film is, TV and film is, and particularly movie reviews. You can change those things just like you would do an old film or film noir or a vintage or classic film with Technicolor.
There you go.
And that's what they did for a number of years.
There you go, Mrs. B. Thank you. Thank you. Again, I just want to give a little Buzz Lightyear as well as another quick review out right now, just finished this week, was the streaming series from Star Wars, Disney, Obi-Wan Kenobi. The streaming series just came out, just completed. Oh my gosh. If you want to see Ewan McGregor at his top level, you have to see Obi-Wan Kenobi. Along with the man, James Earl Jones. Yes, Darth Vader was phenomenal in James Earl Jones. He was phenomenal. 91 years old with the voice of Darth Vader. They really highlighted his activity.
He is
and Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor, the storyline was phenomenal. And I'm just saying that this is a streaming series. This is a series that should be released as a major motion picture, Mrs. B. It should be released as a major motion. It's that good. And I just saw the final episode last night. I was blown away. And there's another surprise at the very end of the episode, the final episode. They bring in, oh my gosh, I'm not even going to say, but a very special acclaimed actor at the very end. So I'm giving that Obi-Wan Kenobi streaming series a thumbs up. And then Mrs. B, we also saw Star Wars. What was it?
I don't know whether they're re-airing it or it was already out on Disney Plus, and they also, who was they?
the Legos.
They also could be pronouns.
The
Legos. They in this case.
Disney. Legos.
Disney.
Yeah. And what did you say about Legos? Come on. We saw that.
Well, I was looking at the trailer.
Yes.
For Star Wars Summer Vacation Legos.
There you go.
And that is pretty funny. I really like that.
We enjoyed it. The entire crowd in the audience, the theater, they reacted. They were laughing. Oh my gosh, it's very entertaining.
I watched it on YouTube.
No, it's going to be released as a major motion picture.
Yeah, August the 5th is what the date I was looking at.
Okay.
But maybe it's other dates and other
I think it's going to be released as a major motion theater.
Well, I tell you what.
So I think you should.
I saw the trailer. It was a thumbs up for Legos. Star Wars Summer Vacation is witty. It's funny. It has different characters, different types of groups of people, different kinds of perspectives, and different kinds of attitudes of different creatures and humans melding with the creatures. You would kind of get that because that's animation. But I wanted to say congratulations, Lego, for building a new Lego factory or Lego
Where is it?
complex in Virginia.
In the state of Virginia. Oh my God.
Congratulations.
There
Not
you
too
go.
far from us, next door.
You never go.
Next to North Carolina.
We may go there one day. Legoland.
But yeah, Legoland.
Well, there you go. We have just reviewed not one, not two, but five movies We started off with, that's right, Jurassic World Dominion. We did Bridgerton Season 2. We also did Buzz Lightyear. We also did Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then we also did, Star Wars Lego. So we brought in five movie reviews. My gosh, all in our season premiere show of season number 2. So what do you have to say for kicking off season number 2, Mrs. B?
Dr. B, it's been a fantastic ride and continue to do so. We did a good job. I would give us, both of us,
our viewers will be the judge of that. But I think we did it. Yeah, please.
Come on back.
Please subscribe. Please send us some feedback.
And
in all our platforms, whether it's podcasting, whether it's the YouTube, please provide us some feedback. Give us a thumbs up or thumbs down. We really want to hear from. We want to hear from you, and I'll take it anyway. Again,
thank you for this over 7,000 viewers from season 1.
From season 1.
You can usually see it on. He's Dr. B.
Yeah,
he's administrator on the page of YouTube, and we both partner together. But he's administrator, and all those viewers from U.S., Canada,
across
England,
the world, we had great response, and now
the world. It was the first season.
And please,
thank you.
Also check us out our YouTube channel. Check us out on our Instagram. Check us out on Twitter. Yes, that's right. We're on all platforms now, Mrs. B. We're leveling
Social
up.
Marketing.
We're leveling up to another level. Why? Because we want to continue to have fun in all different ways.
It's a blessing for you to
and just
thank you.
To engage, interact, and relax yourself.
Relax.
And get along on a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
Each and every time. So another quick surprise. Oh my gosh.
One for you.
Wow, that's a surprise. There you go. But
thank you for that comment that Dr. B got from some of the other social medias. Thank you. YouTube.
Thank you, YouTube,
and Dr. B, and thank you, Apple Podcasts. Thank you, and I wanted to say, Dr. B got this wonderful comment from some folks that think we can share a quick minute. We will. Said we were beautiful YouTubers.
Yeah.
For baby boomers, thank you.
Baby boomers trying to do our thing.
I'm 59 and I'm proud of it.
And I will be 64. So there you go.
64.
So
I'll be 60 in September, so thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. B. This is Movie Reviews by Dr. B and
Mrs. B.
I'm an anthropologist.
And I'm an independent artist scholar.
There you go. Yeah. Well, and 33 years together. That's how it rolls.
That's how we roll. Well, I'm an independent artist scholar. I'm Mrs. B.
There you go. So, again, thank you for your time. Stay safe. Be blessed. Peace out.
Peace in.
There you go.